It's week 3 of our devotional, and I hope you're enjoying the journey. This week, Emory will be reading A Prophet Like Moses. Here we go.
This prophecy of Christ's birth precedes Isaiah's verse. Before unto us a child is born was penned, the first prophet of God's people decreed, a prophet like me will come from among you. You see, God's invitation was for his people to draw near, that all may hear his voice and know him intimately. But the fear of God misapplied led to their request not to hear his voice or see his fire for fear of death. Lord, let there be a mediator, someone to go between, a request he granted, though it was plan B. Moses was selected and faithfully served, and God allowed this mediator prophet as a sign of his plan A. A prophet like me will come from among you. But with the promise of this new prophet comes the key: you must listen. And from Mount Sinai, God confirms, I will put my words in his mouth, and he will speak for me. But did they receive? Did they partner with the prophecy, applying their belief? Surely none would have imagined the many genealogies that would die and breathe life before the prophet like Moses parted the veil. Moses was the prophet to whom God revealed the fullness of his glory, the one he spoke to as a friend, the narrator of the beginning of his story. He spoke with God face to face, and I wonder if God missed those conversations, if his plan of redemption stemmed from missing this connection with men. Perhaps face to face simply wasn't enough, and he wanted a hug, to hold his creation to his chest so they could find peace and rest. Ultimately, I believe he wanted to restore their dignity, to remove the need for a middleman and reinstate his original plan where everyone has the ability to hear his voice and encounter him without fear of death, but immersed in love. Jesus fulfilled these words of Moses by becoming the final middleman, the last and greatest sacrifice, the way, the truth, the life. He only spoke what the Lord was saying, and he made a way to open our ears and eyes so you and I may see and hear God too. Face to face, Father and Son commune, just like God did with Moses. And now, so can you. Jesus, the image of the invisible God, brought us back into God's presence. His words are life, and we now hold the key to tune our ear to the Father's voice, and in reverential awe, listen for what he will whisper to you and to me. Deuteronomy 18:15 promised a prophet like Moses would arise from the people of Israel. And in Acts 3, Peter reminds his fellow Israelites of this prophetic promise, pointing to Jesus as the fulfillment. Moses is one of the most pivotal individuals in our treasured scriptures. He spoke to the Lord face to face and served as a mediator between God Almighty and the Hebrew people. But God's original intention was to speak to all of the people so they all could hear his voice. Yet fear kept them from the treasure of an intimate relationship with their God. In what ways was Jesus like Moses? How do you think that Jesus' life fulfilled this prophecy? Please share your thoughts in the comments. May your time in prayer this week be extra meaningful as you experience the constant access to his presence and his voice that Christ made available to us.